flakes by the I guess even back then you can call.
A year from now, you will wish you started today. I'm Brianna with Emerging Moda, and I'm going to show you how Tokes does it to start all the way through and create her fashion brand. Let's see how Tokes does to become an Emerging Moda fashion designer, and you will watch her through this entire process.
Step into the captivating world of TTOS belts, brought to life by the dynamic fashionista Tokes Ojoade. By day, she's a corporate professional. By night, a visionary in the realm of fashion and a lifestyle content creator. Tokes' most important jobs are being a wife to her hubby, Wale, and a girl mom to the dynamic duo, Dara and Demi. Like most women, Tokes wears many hats. She is driven by a fervent passion to empower everyday women, guiding them to put their best foot forward in the grand theater of life. Elevating any ensemble is a powerful confidence boost, and Tokes firmly believes that a belt can be the finishing touch, turning a lackluster outfit into pure bliss. When we look good, we feel good. Growing up in the vibrant tapestry of Nigerian culture and moving onto the electric energy of New York City, Tokes crafts her custom-designed belts as an homage to the multifaceted essence of womanhood. In a world where women seamlessly wear countless hats as sisters, moms, daughters, aunties, entrepreneurs, working women, homemakers, wives, godmothers, mentors, advocates, activists, friends, and bosses, TTOS stands as a reminder to embrace every beautiful stage in life. It's sleigh time, so put on your TTOS belt to own the moment, regardless of the hats you wear.
So I am super excited about this belt line. I will be working with an industry expert called Emerging Moda. Her name is Brianna, and I am so excited to be working with Emerging Moda. She has managed production for the likes of Prada, Gucci, Fendi, Pucci, Dolce & Gabbana, pretty much a lot of the fashion houses in Italy. She is now she lives in the US, but she lived in Italy for many years, again, managing production for a lot of the fabulous fashion houses in Italy. So she is going to be holding my hand on this journey together as I work on my own belt line. So more to come, you guys. I'm so excited. And we're going to be documenting it through a video series. So that will be, of course, shared with you guys here on Instagram as well as on YouTube. So more to come on that. I will share more as we go by, behind the scenes. And you guys watch me figuring this whole new world out as I figure out how to launch my own accessories line. Okay, so more to come, but very excited about that.
So here's 5 things that we're going to take Tokes through in this process, and I'm going to tell you what they are right now. The first one is brand strategy. The second is product development, then on to production management and international logistics, and lastly, marketing sales. All of these we will start with, and they will kind of bleed through the process so we are prepared in the long run, but I'll take you through these 5 steps right now. So brand strategy, this is your 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. What is the focus and the purpose of your brand that you are going to create? And a little secret I'll sneak in there is your $1 million message, which this is a little jingle for your branding that's easy to remember and describes what you are serving in an instant. Next, we move on to product development. This is your designs, your tech pack, sourcing fabrics and the factory, negotiating with them and getting quotes and walking through the process of patterns and samples, which we rinse and repeat until you are happy with your product. Then we move on to production management. This is your lab dips, your trim cards. Also, don't be intimidated or fear that you don't understand the words or proper terminology that I'm using now, because I'm going to go through this with you. We're going to go through this entire journey. You're not alone, so it's okay. So lab dips, trim cards, and then we get on to grading all of your sizes, and we're going to make sure they are all correct. That's really important before you do production. Cut and sew, you actually see TOP, which is top of production. You approve those goods. And then we finalize everything in your pricing, which are you going to sell at wholesale or retail? You can make those decisions. The next one is international logistics. This isn't only exporting the goods and importing them. It's a lot of paperwork in the meantime and tracking the process, even deciding down to which boat you're going to put the goods on, because some go faster or slower if it leaves on a Tuesday or if it leaves on a Friday. So all of these things are minor decisions that in the broad spectrum, they really matter. A few other things in international logistics would be ex-worker or freight on board. Those are two choices you'll get to make that determine the cost of your product and where the goods finish, and then we need to keep getting them to the ship and then onto sea to transport the goods. And then, and the last thing is marketing and sales. This is your website, SEO, and keywords. And this is also social media marketing, as you know, and onto Facebook ads, Instagram ads, wherever you're going to do your ads. We are going to see how Tokes finalizes this with a few fun fashion events at the end. And you have seen from start to finish how she created her fashion brand. Remember, a year from now, you will wish you started today.
It has to be sellable. What is Tokes gonna do? This belt has to be more unique than we've ever seen on the market. More creative, more inspirational. I don't see it. I don't get it. How is she gonna make this sellable?
So I woke up and one of the things that I'm legit worrying about is the sellability of the belts, because I'm just freaking out about how I'm going to sell these belts. So that's keeping me up at night. I think the reality of it is daunting, because with any sort of big investment, you want to make sure you're getting your return.
Meet the unstoppable force they call Bold Bree. Not just a bulldog for her clients, but a relentless cattle prod and a powerhouse caterpillar truck, leaving no moss under her feet. She has soared to unprecedented heights for her clients, rescuing bolts of fabrics from the brink of New York City's streets and jet-setting 8,000 miles away to drag boxes of clothing out of a conniving factory to properly jumpstart manufacturing in a mere 24 hours. Holding designers' hands every step of the way, Brianna takes emerging fashion entrepreneurs on the most thrilling ride of their lives, from idea to launch, to gain a global presence in the marketplace without traveling this journey alone. Fluent in 3 languages and learning 2 more, a globetrotter of 26 countries, attending New York Fashion Week and Milan Fashion Week with her designers, and a trailblazer in the apparel industry since 2006. Brianna is not your average guide. She is your partner in creating your very own fashion brand the right way, the first time around. Having orchestrated the product life cycle for over 112 brands, including manufacturing for some of the biggest names in Italian fashion, Dolce & Gabbana, Armani, Fendi, Prada, Gucci, Pucci, and Valentino. She then went on to lend her expertise to fast fashion giants like Ross, Venus, Boston Proper, and Ashley Stewart, managing private labeling with unparalleled finesse. A year from now, you'll wish you'd started today. Let's do this in true Brianna fashion.
Learn what sells. Tokes is going to watch 5 hours of QVC or HSN. The reason I want her to do this is because we're going to dig deeper on what is going on. This company clearly has success, and they sell so many different products to different people in a variety of locations. So, more than I can just explain to you in a few minutes, you may think, Brianna, they're not my target customer, so I don't need to do this challenge. But that's why I'm making you watch for 5 hours, because I want you to understand the different things they go through in this show and the products they're selling, because it's product research. So what we're really doing is we're keeping the end in mind in the very beginning, because it's about selling. No matter what you want to create, how creative you are, we need to sell to create this to be a sustainable business. If it's not, it's just a hobby, right? That's what we're going to do, is the end result. We're watching all of this to find out, to learn what sells. Let's see what Tokes has to say.
See all my notes. So I think some of the takeaways just that I noticed or observed a lot of them will offer discounts. And a lot of them will have either free shipping or a discounted shipping option. They tend to use a lot of different models, so just so that there's a diversity of models, whether in size, so that they're showing how the product looks on different sized models. And then for certain products, especially when it's skincare related, they will show a before and after. So you can see what, you know, the person looked like before they used it and then after product use. There was also a highlighting of benefits. So what, you know, what makes this a good product? If there's a variety of colors and different options, they'll talk about that as well and sort of why that's a good thing. They'll show you how to apply or how to use the product. So a lot of show and telling. And then noticed in terms of pricing, they'll show you the different sort of pricing, you know, what the pricing approach is. So if there's, for example, like a discounted price, and then if it's easy for you to, you know, make 4 easy payments using whatever, you know, payment, easy payment option they have, they'll show that as well on screen. And then they may have a special event price for if you buy right then and there. So I thought that was interesting in terms of the different ways they played around with the pricing. Right. What were some of the other things? Just noticed a lot of calling out the benefits, talking about the problem that it's solving, and I'm saying problems in air quotes. And then sometimes they'll have people who've used it before call in to talk about how, you know, much they liked it. What else? And then sometimes they'll throw in a freebie as an incentive to get people to purchase then and there. And then they'll show you different, like for the clothing items, I noticed, they'll show you different ways to pair it with different items. And then they may even try to sell you some of the pairing options that they're talking about.
I like what you said about the benefits, because there's such a difference between features and benefits. And it's so easy when it's your own product to focus on the features, right? Like this belt is good quality. This belt closes, but no one cares. Like they expect the belt to close and be good quality. Yeah. But this belt makes you look sexy. This belt makes you look 10 pounds lighter. Like those are like, okay, now I'm interested, you know?
Right.
So out of all of the different things you just touched on, how do you think that those could fit into your brand? Or it's also a choice to choose not to. Say, I don't want to give discounts. I want to be luxury, right? So I'm not saying that you have to follow all of their rules, but it's just kind of opening your mind to things to choose, to say yes or no to.
Right.
You know?
So it's funny because I was thinking about that as I started working on the mood board as well.
Yeah.
That's hard because people do mood boards all the time. But I think it's different when you're thinking about it in terms of your own product versus I'm putting together a mood board to inspire me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's interesting. So as I started putting it together, and I put a draft on the drive in case you wanted to take a peek. So it's not done yet, but it's in progress, right?
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about it and I'm like, okay, ideally, I love the idea of affordable luxury. Like, so something affordable that's not high end and all the way, you know, on the high end of the spectrum. But then at the same time, I want to evoke that sort of attainable luxury feel, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that confused me a little bit. So I don't want it to be as expensive as a Gucci belt, for example.
Right.
But I put that on there on the mood board because I put that on there just in terms of I want it to be a quality product, not to say that I want it at that price point, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So in terms of me thinking about it, I feel like discounts could definitely apply because I want it to be something affordable, but not cheap.
Yeah.
And when it's a product, you want people to like it, you know? You want them to like what you're putting out there. And you just worry. As much as I pray and I have my affirmations and I tell myself, I'm like, you've got this.
You mentioned now you have to think about the benefits separate from the features, but we're still really in the beginning of your design phase. And so I want to make it super imperative to you that take this pressure off your shoulders. Like now that we've kind of just planted that seed in your mind, and so you're going through life and you're just observing as you observe fashion and belts and social media and your work, anything, and you're just observing everyone else's benefits they're offering, and you're seeing that dividing line between features and benefits. So I just kind of want you to soak it in now, because
Okay.
one thing that really, really happens a lot with designers is, now that we've triggered you need features versus benefits, it's like they put this weight on their shoulder and they're like, oh my gosh, I need all the best benefits in the world and I have to find them or I'm not going to succeed.
Yeah.
And you don't have to today, you know, we're at the very, very beginning. So that's what I'm saying, just to take that pressure off and you enjoy it, or you know,
Okay.
have fun with it. And as you think about, the root is, you always go back to your 3 women, right? Does it fit into their lives? What benefits? I would actually ask yourself before the belt, forget the belt, you know, forget whatever you're making, it does not matter. But these
Yeah.
3 women, what benefits do they want and need in their life?
Okay.
And you happen to sell a good quality belt. See? So we just flip the roles. How you feeling?
Good. I'll try not to solve it all at once. One day at a time.
Yeah.
Some of you who follow me know that I lost my dad last year. I lost my dad to cancer last year, right around this time. So, in fact, exactly a week ago last year, I lost my dad on the 19th of March. So I was not on oh my God, I'm gonna cry. So yeah, so I lost my dad last year to cancer, and that's why when I see people complaining, I'm like, you guys, it could be worse. There are people who are sick. There are people who have other things going on. So that, you know, so what? We're stuck indoors, but at least we have a house. You know what I mean? Like, at least we have food. We're not out of food. There are people who have it way worse. So conditions could always be worse, okay? So we can't spend time dwelling on the negative. Like, we're home, so let's try to make the best of it. Let's drink wine and coffee and tea and water, and all the other things that we said tonight that we've been drinking. Corporate Minority said, amen. Gotta look at the glass as half full, not half empty. Yes, we can soak in negativity all day if we choose to, but we are not going to choose to, okay? So while people out there are going to be negative and things are going to get bad, yes, we're going to acknowledge it. Will we cry? Yes, there will be times when you will cry because people are driving you insane and you need to vent. But that, I hope, is what we have friends and family for. Vent, talk it out. And that's why, again, the other extreme would be not dealing with reality, right? Not dealing with reality of what's going on. That would be the other extreme. So we don't want that extreme where you're in a bubble and then people are like, okay, where have you been? Are you not aware of what's going on? Like, what's going on here? That's the other extreme. So we don't want that extreme, but at the same time, we're not going to sort of, you know, wallow in the self-pity and the negative things, and we're going to try as much as possible to get through this. So as much as I know this sounds crazy, you guys, in my mind, I'm picturing a situation where when they finally say the numbers have come down, nod, okay, because amen, the numbers will come down one day. This is not final. This is not forever, okay? This is temporary. So
Lost you. I was playing around. Where do I want to be? On a beach would be nice. Because remember, I had to complete the homework.
Yeah.
You know, remember? So I did. Yeah, I watched however many hours. Whenever that was. Yes. So yes. Okay.
So tell me what you learned about QVC and what you can pull from that for your brand.
Okay. So one of the things that I observed with a lot after hours and hours of watching QVC and HSN, by the way, is there's this idea of there's always a sense of urgency. That much I've noticed. So they're going to do whatever it takes to try to get people to buy, whether it's by them talking about the fact that if you take advantage now, there's some special offer. So they could, you know, knock out the shipping costs, or it could be a reduced shipping cost, or there's a discount, you know, if you buy it now, so it's cheaper versus waiting till later. And then they may say, if you buy 2, we'll throw in another one free or whatever. So lots of just promotional type of, you know, urgency driven offers, if you will, to get people to act now. The other thing is making sure that either the person who's the host or if they have a model, because sometimes the host is the model and then other times they'll have a model. But I've noticed that they always talk about the benefits, right? So they play up, the features and the benefits. So if it's, for example, a dress that has pockets, and, women, we love those pockets. So they'll make sure that they're calling attention to some of those, benefits and features that they know people like. So, oh, this has additional pockets. And then they'll tell you why you want a dress that has pockets, right? So you can, put in no one really has coins anymore, but so you can put in your car keys. Like, they'll make sure that they're calling out those things for you, so that you're like starting to see why, like, you can visualize yourself in, this dress with pockets, or why you need this standalone fireplace, even though you have a fireplace. Like, literally, I saw that where they were talking about why you need a standalone, fireplace, and why it's more energy efficient than you using the fire. I'm like, okay, like, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, they do a good job, right, of making you want it by calling up some of those, some of those benefits and features. So it's a lot of showing and telling, and making sure that you understand why it makes sense for you to have this. And then if there are variations, that's the other thing, is they'll show you and they'll talk about the different, variations, like if it's different colors or, it comes in different sizes. So they'll talk about that as well. So yeah, I actually enjoyed watching it. It was therapeutic in a way.
I like how you mentioned features and benefits. They show you both because they're important. But as a brand owner, it's so easy to want to show off all the features because you spend so much time making it amazing in all these different ways. But then QVC or all these different shows, they actually also talk about the benefits, and they say, okay, here's the pockets. This is the feature. But if you just said that, they're like, oh, cool, any dress can have pockets. But why? Oh, it's got all my keys, my coins, whatever else. I'm on the run and I got to go. So it brings in this like emotional situation of, oh yeah, I need my hands free to do whatever else. Cool, I got pockets.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So you just mentioned 3 great points, and then you can take that and see how you want to implement them inside Toques Takes on Style.
The offer part was definitely like that registered because, and I've also been, watching QVC and then thinking about the offers that we all get in our inboxes, right? So I've been doing a lot also of just paying attention to, myself as an email subscriber to all these different, retailers, and sort of how they do that. So thinking about whether it's different holidays and how they think about some of those promotional offers. The problem is, though, I don't know if I should be saying this, but there's so many holidays now. I feel like there's so many faux holidays, like in addition to the standard holiday, like traditional holidays, like 4th of July. Now you have National Smiley Face Day. I'm making that up, but you know what I mean? Like, there are all these holidays now where there's a lot to keep track of. So I have made a calendar, yay, just including just a bunch of holidays that I then will go back and I'm going to really take a look at the ones that may be more pertinent, because there's some that could be nice, tie-ins that are tied to like, women or women's empowerment and things like that, that would make sense, or celebrating, like the traditional ones like Mother's Day and so on. But I say that to say that's going to be sort of part of how I look at what times of the year I have those, promotional bursts or offers, if you will. So that's one. And then as I think about, like you said, like how I describe, the belts, it's not just, here's a belt. So it's pulling in some of those points that might resonate with people. So for example, the fact that there's the affirmation, right, on the inside of the belts, like that's a nice, surprise feature, if you will, that actually is a feel-good one that I think that's a nice way for people to remember that there's actually a reminder for them, like their own daily affirmation that's already in a belt. Like as they put it on, they, hopefully they can remember that throughout the day, that they're wearing their, a positive affirmation. And then when I think about the vegan, like the wrap belts, right, those are sustainable. So that's something else that I want to make sure that even because I have already drafted the descriptions for the product pages, and I include that, like to make sure that for people who they like being sustainable. So, that's something else to remind people that these are sustainable belts, right? So yeah, those are just some of the things, like linkages as I think about QVC.
And I like that the tie belt really elongates us,
Mhm.
make us feel tall and skinny. And it's also trendy, fashionable, and luxurious with the logo. And
Yes.
so it's like a big conglomerate of everything that I want to feel like.
Yes, for sure.
And you have to do it scared. But I'd be lying if I didn't say that I wasn't worried, So these belts have to be sellable. I have to make them sellable as I think about the approach, because too much time and money and effort has gone into this for them not to be. And that's what's keeping me up at night sometimes.
She did it. She did it. No, you don't understand. Toaks made the belt sellable, 100%. And I cannot wait to see this out. So this is what happened. She made a logo that was absolutely adorable. It's classy, it's clean, it's sharp. You gotta check it out. But secondly, well, I don't know if this is a secret, but she took famous quotes that she tells herself every day. She took those and she added them on the inside of the belts. We embossed them, we engraved them, we stamped them on the belt. So every day when you read this quote, you are going to be inspired to have a better, stronger day. And then the additional things that she did was they're minor details where you would think, oh, why does that even matter? But it is the difference in the design room, in her studio.
Where do I begin? Well, first and foremost, this is Nikyo Wole, one of Toaks' oldest friends. So I say longest. I don't want to say old because I sound old, but longest friends. I've known Toaks since we were knee-high from a grasshopper. It's been forever. And I always feel like I need to title this voice memo or audio, but make it fashion. Because every memory I have of Toaks has had fashion involved on some level. One of my earliest memories is, I can't remember exactly what we were going to do. I think it was a Girl Scouts retreat or a picnic or something like that in Nigeria. And Toaks had this outfit on. I just remember it looked like a Girl Scout outfit. If my memory serves me correctly, it was sharp, man. But she had on these cowboy boots. I remember they were beige and they had red on them. And I thought they were the most adorable things. I was so jealous. I was like, I want some boots like that. But I knew we were going to be walking, and you were going to be walking quite a distance. And I was like, Toaks, are you sure you want to wear those shoes? And she was going to wear those shoes. Nobody was going to tell her any differently. And that poor baby's feet hurt so bad. She could barely walk by the time it was all said and done with. But guess what? She was working up. She was cute. You couldn't tell her anything. And I think that's just been the fundamental link in all of our memories is the fact that Toaks has always been extremely fashionable. The two vices I've known that she's had as long as I've known her, her outfits must always have a belt and bags. Handbags and belts were two items that you just knew you were guaranteed to have in a Toaks outfit. So this comes as zero surprise to me that she would like to venture out and create a home brand with belts. And I'm just so excited to see what she'll come up with because I know it's going to be fantastic and extremely fashionable. We have so many memories. We've been through so much together. We have years of just gisting and talking about our issues and just growing up and just some of those growing pains and just living life and being girls and having things happen to us that we just didn't understand, that you needed a girlfriend to just kind of get you through and talk through whatever was going on with you. And it's been a very, very rewarding friendship. But I'm so proud of Toaks for doing the things that she said she was going to do. I can look at Toaks as one of the people that sets her mind to something. She has a plan, she has a goal, and she absolutely goes for it. That's something that I personally struggle with because I spend a lot of time ruminating and creating a plan. Toaks is the kind of person that sees her vision and she absolutely goes for it. When she started her blog, Toaks' Take on Style, I was, we talked about having blogs, and I wanted to have a blog and she wanted to have a blog, and I encouraged her. I said, you should do it, you should do it, you should do it. And she did it. And she's still doing it. And I've watched her on her local news station. I've just watched Toaks really bring to fruition the things that she says she wants to do. So I have absolutely no doubt that I am going to have my own branded belt at some point, hint, hint, wink, wink, and I'll be proud to wear it. So I just wanted to share this, some of my fondest memories of Toaks when it comes to fashion. There's so many others, but I hope that this definitely shows how far back this desire has been for Toaks. Thank you.